From the East Brunswick Jewish Center, I'm Rabbi Jeff Pivo. There is a tendency in art to use a person's physical appearance as a means of communicating something about their inner character. Witches or mobsters are evil and ugly. Princes and other heroes are handsome and thus wholesome. That tendency is so common that some writers have found success by turning the formula on its head, consciously making physically ugly characters heroes and beautiful ones villains, in order to upend our expectations and maybe even to undermine the idea that appearance tells us something about people's interior lives. The presumed connection between what we look like and who we really are is an old, ancient idea, and it shows up in this week's Parsha. The early rabbis assumed that people afflicted with the skin diseases described in the Torah don't merely suffer from a physical affliction, but that the cause of that affliction is some kind of moral transgression. According to that understanding, our inner rot, our moral rot, manifests itself in physical decay as well. As a result, biblical and rabbinic law attempt to isolate people who show evidence of these skin diseases in order to protect the public from catching, so to speak, either the disease itself or the underlying ethical lapses that were believed to cause it. In our time, of course, none of those ancient beliefs hold up medically, but the idea that our bodies can betray something of our inner lives has some merit. Hives, shaking, and various other bodily tics can indeed be signs of emotional distress. The difference is that in our time, such things are now understood as signs of personal trauma rather than indications of ethical lapses. By the early rabbinic period, the countervailing idea of deceptive appearances was also in play in Jewish culture. As our sages wrote in Pirkei Avot, do not look at a flask, but rather at its contents. As we approach Shabbat and as we make our way on the journey symbolically from Egypt to Sinai, from Pesach to Shavuot, I hope that we all continue our journey toward both physical health and interior moral health in all of our lives. A Shabbat Shalom.